So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
Welcome back to Let's Play Call for as Gunslinger, Episode 2. I am your rhinestone cowboy for the evening, the J of Spade. So, we're going to be taking on the gang, the Cowboys, in this episode. If you haven't been reading the Nuggets of Truth, I highly recommend it. They don't really affect the game too much, but there's plenty of fun factoids for your perusing.
So was the bastard you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. And yes, he was working for old man Clanton. I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man. Over there!
Shoot anybody with a red bandana. Got it.
I did my best to help those poor bastards. It's me and you! Moments later, the attackers were dead, and I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None. It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attacked from on high like Apaches often do. They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads, making use of the high ground and whatever else they had. Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to them.
Hold on, were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force. See, at the time, I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo, but I knew he was with the cowboys. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to fight my way past these other assholes first. Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up.
How many people does it take to rob a stagecoach?
Put some holes in it! Finally, they managed to corner me. Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim. Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament. I ran ahead as if the devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die. I just kept running like there was no tomorrow.
About that die part. It's weird, I didn't even know that they spawned enemies in here. Also, this previous segment is actually really good for leveling up, which is why I leveled up one. We also saw that Eagle Eye can be quite useful in catching running enemies. And by catching, I mean shooting.
I just kept running like there was no tomorrow. Because there wouldn't be if Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this?
No one will ever fight you.
I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going. And that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven, I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Pat Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know.
Upgrade time! This upgrade will let us have longer combos, which means more XP, which is good because then we level up faster.
And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo. That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunter. Time.
All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running. And the old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat. My fury knew no bounds. It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins.
Guess you've had enough.
I yelled out at the top of my lungs, "Clanton, I'm coming for you!" A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last him till kingdom come. But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo. I needed to get that old man off that gun.
The segment isn't too bad, you just have to wait till he reloads, then run for the next piece of cover. Unfortunately, you can't use your sense of death to dodge Gatling gun bullets, but we can get a nugget of truth. And now it's time for our first proper boss fight of the game. We're gonna fight Old Man Clinton. Once we're up here, we can either toss dynamite at him, or shoot him in between dodging volleys of bullets. Thank God for this bulletproof wagon.
Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon, but it was just me.
I don't know how you lived this long.
Getting a clean headshot does quite a bit of damage on him, and dynamite has a touch of garnish.
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive, and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps, and that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
Honestly, I think that death was 50% dynamite and just 50% old age. And now that we've shot Papa Cowboy, we have to go after the Cowboy Kids. Who knows what kind of daring escapades Silas Greaves could get up to in this adventure. But a gunfight here? Who could have saw that coming? We certainly won't be milling about. I would if I could. We can write this one down in our log. At the end of the day, though, somebody's gonna bite the dust. The sawdust!
A few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill. They were loaded for bear.
So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why.
It's like the beginning to a really catchy song. I like it.
But first I need to tell you about the cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
The pistols we have here are the standard 6-shooters. They're pretty good, they're very average. They don't do as much damage as the Ranger, but they're a bit faster. There's another set of pistols that are even faster, but they're significantly weaker.
Curly Bill took charge of the cowboys upon the old man's demise, and after that gunfight at the OK Corral, Lance wanted revenge. So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil.
I'm kind of surprised they don't just have a level where Silas goes to the OK Corral. I mean, you don't even see Wyatt Earp or Doc Holliday in the game.
Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
I like that a lot of levels have contextual shouts for the enemies. It's just a little thing, but it adds quite a bit of flavor, I think.
Die for Christ's sake!
And up here, if we walk correctly, we can find a little nugget of truth on this tree.
Hey, you didn't I?
And I got stuck. Oh! Wait, almost got... Yeah, there we go. I deserve that.
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas.
Son of a bitch!
That's how the cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself. But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed. And that's what drove me forward.
They say that Ringo was infernally fast.
Put some holes in
I
them!
hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cap.
Earp wasn't much of a match for him, but Doc Holliday might have taken him.
That Lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal?
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot.
Yeah, the leader of the cowboys can't be a coward. I'm sorry. I think I'm having an allergic reaction to all the sawdust in the air.
Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack.
This song's a really good example of the quality of the music in this game. I think that the music does a great job at capturing the 70s spaghetti western feel. There's actually a small making of this game called How the West Was Won Again, where they talk about the production of the music and about how even though they're not from America, the idea of wanting to be a cowboy is almost universal in some sense.
Though it wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
Now this nugget of truth is actually pretty tricky to find. You might not spot it at first, but there's a door right there. And there's actually another nugget of truth really close by. But first, here's some dynamite! I love it when a plan comes together. Shooting the rope right here is a great way to kill a bunch of these annoying shield guys. Dynamite also works though.
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
The always useful faster reload on pistols.
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
This hat is magic. How can I not take it?
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open. Time to dance with the battle!
This boss fight can be kind of difficult. Curly likes to run around and he can be kind of hard to pin.
Footwork, boy!
Admittedly, maybe the strategy of run up and shoot him in the face a bunch of times isn't the best, but it'll get him halfway down. Once he is halfway down, though, he does start spawning lesser enemies for you to take care of also. It can be kind of frustrating because you'll get shot up from all sides and you don't know where Curly is. If you ever run low on ammo, though, there is this little alcove right here that you can duck into and grab some dynamite and some ammo. love hide and seek. Tag, you're it.
Brocious gave me no choice but to take his life. But Ringo was nowhere to be found.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
And I thought Ringo was one of the Beatles that was still alive. I've got blisters on me trigger fingers.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true. Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo.
Well, cowpokes, we came, we saw Mill, we conquered. Thanks for watching this episode of Let's Play Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Stay tuned for the next one.